Okay, today I'll be showing you a new HTML5 element called Canvas, which allows you to draw, illustrate, and even animate drawings or illustrations using JavaScript within a website. Um, so we'll go ahead and get started. I have a pretty much laid out template here. Um, for this, you basically need to know a little bit of JavaScript, HTML, and that's about it. So here you could see some variables I've defined. The height and width are the height and width of the canvas element, which I've defined down here. This canvas element, you really only need to define the canvas, the width, and the height. I've given it an ID, and you want to give it an ID so that you can use it with the JavaScript DOM. I've also given it a border just so that we can see, what we're actually working with. So we can see the blank canvas whenever we load it up. And I've also included a couple links on the sides so we can make it smile or return it back to normal. So let's see what we're looking at here. Alright, this is the blank canvas that we have. So let's get to drawing. First, we have to define the JavaScript variable face so that we can actually use JavaScript DOM in order to manipulate it. This CTX equals face.get contacts 2D. You need that so that that will work only if your browser supports it, and we actually use CTX as a variable for manipulating and drawing all shapes within our canvas. So we can go ahead and get started. I will create a function called drawFace, so we'll go ahead and call that here. What we'll define in here, CTX begin path. You need this begin path method in order to start drawing anything in Canvas. And once you've defined that, we won't actually be drawing any lines, but we'll be drawing some circles and a curve for the mouth. This first one, this arc, this is actually to draw the face. So to begin, everything in Canvas is relevant distance-wise to the origin right here at 0, 0. The top left corner of your actual canvas board. And for the circle, we actually define it as an origin first. So this is the origin X, origin Y, and since we have a height of 400 and a width of 400, we're just going to center that. The next parameter is the radius, which we'll put as 100. Next is the starting point in radians, and next is the ending point in radians. And finally, this value false. If that is true, it will draw the arc counterclockwise, but since it's false, it will draw clockwise. Now, since we're drawing a circle, it doesn't really matter, but if you're just drawing part of an arc, that is, you can choose to do it clockwise or counterclockwise. When we're done, you always have to close path whenever you're finished creating whatever shape you need. And this won't actually show up on our canvas board until we tell it to. And to do that, you can either use the fill method or a stroke method, which I will show you later. This fill method, we've set it to fill yellow, and let's check it out, see what we have. And there we go. We have a round yellow circle in the middle of our canvas board. Alright, so we want to create a couple eyes, and I'm just going to copy and paste this. to create the eyes, we do the same thing. We also have to begin another path since we're creating different objects, and particularly because they're different color and a different style. So we want the origin for these to be 165, 175, radius of 15. These remain the same. This would be 235, 175, 15. Let's check it out, see what we have now. And there we go. 2 eyes in a round circle. Now we need to create the actual mouth. And to do this, we'll first create a straight mouth. You know, just a straight line across, but since we want to animate it and make him smile, we actually can't we can't curve a straight line. So what we're going to do is create a straight curve and then just manipulate that curve to actually change it from being straight to a curve. What we'll do here, create another function called straight. And we actually need another function that will clear the board. Whenever we're animating it, we want to clear what's behind it and redraw it. So for that, we will use this clear rectangle function with parameters of the origin, the starting point of the rectangle, and the finishing point. And what this does is it creates just a blank rectangle at the spot that you give it. So this is going to take up our entire canvas board. And you'll see where that comes into play later when we begin animating. So for the straight face, what we're going to do is actually clear the board and go ahead and draw the face here. Alright, so under straight, after we draw the face, we need to create the actual curve. So we'll start off with begin path again, and we need to move the actual point that we're going to begin with this move to function. What this is you can think of it as picking up a pencil and setting it down somewhere on a paper. And we're going to use this as the starting point for our curve. And now we will use the quadratic curve to function. And with this, you specify the control point, X and Y, first. And so we will have it centered. Use our smile arc variable, which we have defined up top, and what this is just a specified height, and then our ending point with coordinates 275, 220, and that's where this move to function before comes in, because now it would be a straight line because they're different X variables but not different Y. So we've created that, but it won't show up until we tell it to. So we'll go ahead and close the path. And this is the stroke method that I had mentioned before. We're gonna have a black line, so go ahead and call stroke and see what this does. It should create a straight line for the mouth, but it doesn't. So let's see where we went wrong. Right here, begin path. And there we go. We have the straight line. He doesn't look too happy. So what we'll do is we'll actually create a smiley face now. And it's pretty much the same exact commands as the straight function, except the smile arc is going to change. I'll show you what it looks like with what we'll be using. Smile. Go ahead and call smile up here, and this is just to see what it will look like when he's smiling. Similar to that. Okay. So let's start here. We want to clear it, draw the face, begin path, move to the correct point, and we want to define these as the same, and call the stroke function. Now for animating it later, we'll want to create an if statement here. What we're going to do is say if it's less than a specified value, we're going to increase it and call a function to make it smile. Now let's make that change this. Let's make this make smile function. So inside of here, all we're going to do is call the smile function, and the reason this is going to work is because we increased the smile arc, which is right here, and that is the vertical position of our control point for the quadratic curve, and so it'll just lower the smile so it'll actually look like he's smiling. Let's go ahead and call this. And we'll actually go ahead and create a function to return it back to normal. This is it's pretty much the same thing as make smile, except we're going to call the straight function. And within straight, then, we also need the same if statement, except we're going to change this. Now let's see what we have. If everything works properly, nope, didn't work. So let's see what we have to do. Wow. There we go. Try this again. Still didn't work. Ah. Make straight. one last time. And there we go. And that concludes the tutorial for making a smiley face and actually making him smile. There's a lot of things you can do with Canvas. You can actually create overlapping canvas boards and define what the objects do inside of them. You can set intervals so that things can constantly be moving. You could set this up so that his expression changes constantly. But that's all that we're going to cover today. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're smiling as much as this guy.